We're in one of the most stunning locations in Davos, right below the Magic Mountain. And joining us now on India Today is one of the most promising politicians of Pakistan, Benazir Bhutto's son, Asif Ali Zardari's son, Balaul Bhutto. Welcome. This is his first interview to Indian news media. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's a beautiful location. You have the prettiest view in town. How has Davos been for you so far?
Davos has been an amazing experience. This has been my first trip to Davos, and I find it such an amazing opportunity to have genuine discussions and an exchange of ideas. As you may know, I spoke on this panel about fake news versus real politics, which I think is a really interesting topic. We spoke at the first counter-violent extremism event held at Davos. I co-hosted it with someone else, and I think that was really, really important. And I'm so glad that Davos has taken that step to address such an important issue.
Your mother was a big Davos sensation, and they're all welcoming you back after a long time. What's your sense of India-Pakistan relations at this time? Given all the troubles our countries face, sitting where you are in the opposition in Pakistan, how do you view the India-Pakistan relationship?
Well, I think it's plain for everyone to see that the Indian-Pakistan relationship isn't at its best at the moment. But I think that despite hostilities at both sides and genuine complaints, ultimately the youth of both countries understand that the only solution is peace. We just have to figure out a way to get there.
Okay. What would you like to do if you had an opportunity in the coming elections to reset the equilibrium, to work on the India-Pakistan relationship? What would you like to do?
Look, I think there's things that need to happen on both sides. We need to understand that when we look at India in Pakistan, we look at it through the eyes of the Pakistani media, and when Indians look at Pakistan, they look at it through the eyes of the Indian media. I think the best way forward would be for us to look at a more median approach and take smaller steps on both sides to see how we can take confidence-building measures and build towards a process where we can start having a discussion.
All of this has been tried, Balaul, in the past, on multiple occasions.
With all due sincerity, I feel that the way India and the rest of the world approaches it is they think that they can just dictate to Pakistan how to do things, and that's not how a partnership works or builds. You have a conversation about what the reservations perhaps Pakistan may have with India, and India will also have reservations about what's going on in Pakistan. You have those discussions not in public in front of cameras, you have those discussions behind closed doors. Unless that sort of situation is created, you have to understand in Pakistan for us, just as certain individuals may cause anxiety to the people of India, you have to understand the rise of Hindu nationalism recently in India, a perception within Pakistani media that India is moving away from that secular image also makes the Muslims of Pakistan insecure. So we have to understand that both of us come at this through with anxieties, but the ultimate solution is only sitting together and finding peace.
But the reality also is there are elements within Pakistan who don't seem to like the idea of peace with India. Our Prime Minister, soon into his term in office, in a very dramatic move, came to Ravin, met your Prime Minister at that time, and immediately after that there was a big terror attack in Pathankot.
Sir, your Prime Minister has been elected by the Indian people, and I respect the Indian people's mandate. His image in Pakistan after the incidents in Gujarat are not very positive. In the age of social media, you can't hide what's happening in Kashmir on either side or what's happening in Pakistan. But for the social media in Pakistan to be seeing bullet-ridden bodies in Kashmir makes these sort of situations difficult and actually would need state-to-state cooperation. Mr. Modi's trip to Pakistan, while perhaps intended to send a positive sign, by going to Mr. Sharif's wedding engagement and not following it up with any sort of state cooperation sends the image that they're just showing that they want to have peace, actually aren't taking the concrete actions necessary.
But what else could he do? For example, you've got an Indian Prime Minister coming to Pakistan, making that grand overture. Realistically speaking, that is what the Prime Minister could have done. He thought out of the box, tried to make something happen, and yet we saw how Pakistan responded. Because what do you think, Mr. Bhutto, about the likes of a Hafiz, about the likes of
so
a Hafiz?
I disagree.
Yeah.
If you look at the initial reaction to Mr. Modi's arrival in Pakistan, it was positive. Opposition parties even invited him. When it turned out that he was only there to attend the wedding and there wasn't going to be any concrete steps taken towards an actual dialogue, then the reaction was very different, because a personalized relationship is not going to solve nations' issues.